What's going on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger, and we are back at you again today with another Madden 24 gameplay video. Earlier this morning on EA's YouTube channel, they premiered a new Madden 24 gameplay video, but it's not like the ones we've seen already. It's not a cinematic trailer. It's actual gameplay footage. It's going to feature Dez and Clef the God, two competitive players. Nick Mazesko is in this video, and also Spade, who is one of the EA developers, former YouTuber, very passionate about Madden. He's a great guy to have building or help building this game. He gives a lot of good feedback, and we're just going to kind of show you some of the clips, the highlights from the video of things that I want to talk about and point out gameplay-wise. We will link the full video down below in the comments section as a pinned comment. It's around a half hour long if you want to go watch the full thing, but we're just going to get right on into the clips and, like I said, talk about the things that we see. Here's the first one.
We got to do this last year remotely. We now get to do it in person, Spade. From a perspective of a designer, how much fun is this time of year as everybody is so excited to get Madden NFL 24?
It's crazy fun, man.
Has man press been tuned down? Because my first play, you know, he was man press and I just threw a fade and Diggs just cooked him off the line.
Hey, before I could even talk about it, you got right into it. But obviously, if you watch NFL football, that is not the way the game is played. So we went through and we tuned press chances, especially if you got a good receiver. Don't mean that you can't press. You still can press in spots, but we want to make sure personnel matters. And if you're walking a defensive back to the line to press a receiver, you should care about who you got there. Like, the fear that it could go to a big play is what we wanted to create this year.
So right off the rip, they got to it with a big bomb for a touchdown, and I like what I saw there, right? The days of maybe running spinner with tons of press man coverage and zero safety help over the top could be over with, especially if you have a good route runner like Stephon Diggs. Now, of course, most of you are going to be playing Madden Ultimate Team, and this is a regs game mode, so things are going to play a little bit differently with more players having abilities and more players just generally being better. But it sounds like from the developer feedback and from what they noticed in the gameplay that press man coverage every single down just won't be a good thing to do.
Oh my little God. Separation. Oh my God.
And you get a chance to see some of that momentum. Like, Diggs never slows down, never has to slow down. So those lead, you know, those pass lead, we tune pass leading a bit so you can lead a bit more now. So just being able to lead a receiver on a go route, you've experienced a very frustrating moment where you see a receiver that's beat a defensive back.
And there's one of those knockout animations we're seeing.
Absolutely. And that was a high pass too. So I want to talk briefly about that. High pass was something that was used a lot. It was the meta last cycle as well, and we wanted to...
it was the meta everywhere, not just MUT, franchise, it was everywhere.
We attacked it from a few different angles. For one, you now have a chance of throwing in an accurate pass when you attempt a high pass. That's on the passing side. On the catching side, if the receiver has to contort his body in a weird way to make the catch, he can just drop it because he's contorting weird. So we addressed it on the catching side, and it's a lot more animation content where defensive backs can hit receivers while they're in the air.
We just saw, I think, some new messaging on there. At the bottom, it said high throw drop. So you talked about, there's a chance, you know, he was kind of in coverage there, so making that high catch is going to be tough. But it's going to tell you if your receiver just straight up dropped the ball and it wasn't deflected. It was just a drop. Miami Hurricane.
You know it.
I'm sorry, I had to give you the shot. I knew you were a Miami fan. So.
I'm calling it now.
Oh, the drop off the high pass into Jordan Poyer's hands. And I don't think, I could be wrong, I don't think Jordan Poyer has something like pick artist on him. So you're seeing him able to make an open field interception without the ability.
Yeah, our players are going to have to, some of them are going to have to reprogram themselves because high pass was so much the thing to do. Yeah, I mean, you kind of do it without thinking about it. So you got to be careful. You got to pick your spots.
So I wanted to show you a collection of clips with high point passing, specifically in traffic. As you can see, probably not going to be as useful, not going to be as OP. I think generally speaking, that's a really good thing. If you played MUT 23 or Madden 23 a lot, high point pass is certainly the meta. The one that did concern me was that last clip you just saw with the interception. Kelsey, who's one of the best, if not the best tight ends in the NFL, you know, it wasn't wide open, but he had a nice little gap of green in between the defenders. The ball still hit his hands and he dropped it. So I like to see high points being nerfed, but that last clip concerns me a bit. It might make you not want to throw high points at all this year.
All right, I think we're going to get Clef to call a little PA slot cross. This was a meta play of all meta plays, and it was took advantage of the defense because of how the flip worked. Talk to me how it's different this year.
Yeah, so we would see our players run this play, flip it, and instead of the players crossing field, you just would give that route, that seam route, you would give it to the receiver. And if you had some speed over there, it gave defenses fits. And it was a rather easy fix. That we just said, if you're going to flip the play, we're going to make the tight end cross the field. He's going to keep his route, and our video game defensive coordinators are going to sleep a whole lot better because of that change.
If you're up at home and you're like, I'm a runner, okay? I want to tote the ball. I want to pound the rock. The new and improved blocking schemes, I think, makes running a viable offense.
For sure.
Especially here in 24.
In a playbook, running some stuff you have flat out never seen work or never seen even be ran. We got toss plays working
in Madden again?
Couldn't have queued it up any better. Toss plays. Like I said, the run game, this open field targeting is something that you can feel instantly. You're going to pick the control up, you're going to call a run play, and you're going to see those offensive linemen getting action.
A very huge emphasis was placed on offensive line blocking, whether it was running or passing the ball for Madden 24. When I went to the cover reveal event back in May in San Francisco, like the gameplay trailer you guys saw, the presentation they gave us, it focused a lot on blocking. And as you could see in those clips there, like toss sweeps are going to work again. I'm a little nervous about this. It definitely could be the year of the runner. So if you're a good runner, you might excel very well in Madden 24. Also feels like if you're a MUT player, it's going to be important to build your offensive line. That's why I've been telling you guys to get 4 of those 5 rookie premieres on the offensive line so you can be set and good to go on day 1.
Jumping. So
well, even on that drop touchdown, that was something that I think last year was probably caught most of the time because they'd get hit in that midair and they just sort of come down with it.
Sure.
Now that I got to ask Clef, how
open up the playbook. We want players to feel more confident running other plays.
That was a nice
I
play.
think that's going to be a good man beater, just running with the quarterback.
Maybe they're not as well versed as zone drops and all the other good stuff. If they got good players in zone in position to make plays. So in 24, we wanted to make sure that scrambling quarterbacks and mobile quarterbacks felt mobile. Even if you're not scrambling, the way that Clef is getting out the pocket, he's not necessarily scrambling, but he's able to get out of the pocket and make plays. But at the same time, Dez could contain, and that contain is going to pretty much keep him from being able to just run around.
I mean, look at the
and
end, keep Allen in right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but you know, Clef just finds Gabriel Davis down the field. I mean,
now what you just saw is going to be my biggest fear, worry, complaint about Madden 24 gameplay so far. It seemed like Clef had his day with rolling out with Josh Allen, and you think of any mobile quarterback, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, it might be too easy for rollout corners. That was a big thing in Madden 21 and Madden 22. They pretty much nerfed it this year. I think they did a good job, but it also felt like mobile quarterbacks were contained and you could just use a pocket passer all year. I think they're going to struggle to find a balance between making a mobile quarterback feel like a mobile quarterback and them also being way too OP. So we'll see how things play. One thing that you're going to notice in the full gameplay if you watch it is that zones do react a lot better. It feels like zone coverage is going to be the meta more than man coverage this year. We'll see what happens, when thousands and thousands of people get the controller in their hands and metas are formed. But rollout corners worry me. Zone coverage, zone reactions are good and could be a way to nerf it. Also, QB contains, will they work? They kind of worked on that last play, even though Clef still ended up throwing a touchdown. He had enough time to roll out to make an accurate throw to find a wide open receiver. So that's my biggest concern so far for gameplay in Madden 24.
I mean, what a game. 2 of the best battling it out. First game of Madden 24. And guys, before we get out of here, I'm curious, you've gotten to play the game, full 20 minutes of gameplay. Clef, I'm going to start with you. What's the biggest change you felt or saw between last year and then your first try here at Madden 24?
I'll say catching, everything around catching. Just the animations are 1,000 times better. It makes you more comfortable with throwing a check down and also letting the computer catch it for you. You don't have to swerve your way into an animation. All the animations feel good and they feel fluid.
Des, how about you?
It's got to be like the playbooks. I mean, there is like every single formation I call a game. Like I feel like I called every formation. There was about 2 or 3 looks that I liked in every single one of them. So many things they added that I like. The fake jet sweep that I hit him with, like that's all sick.
So those are most of the clips that I wanted to point out. Again, I encourage you to go watch the full video that's linked down below in the comments section. A few closing thoughts for myself here. I think the running game, the blocking, passing in, running is as advertised. They put a lot of it, featured a lot of it in the gridiron notes and the gameplay trailers, and it looks like it's going to play that way. That's how it felt in the beta as well. The rack catching and just, being able to get it out to a running back in stride, a receiver in stride, avoiding the knockouts definitely feels like it will be good. They did show a few knockouts without KO abilities in that full gameplay video as well, and it seems like knockouts could be a thing, but in those close situations only. So if you have a defender beat downfield on a streak, and it's, because you beat press man coverage or they're just generally faster, that smooth animation to catch the ball and continue to keep in his stride is definitely a W. As I mentioned a moment ago, definitely concerned about QB rollouts and mobile quarterbacks. Maybe not so much with like escape artist type things, but manipulating the AI defense by getting outside of the pocket and throwing corners and having like a corner flat streak combination. Bunch could definitely be back because of that. Like that they paid attention to some of the meta plays, like the PA cross play that was very tough to defend in 23. Looks like that'll be stopped in 24. Defensively, man coverage might not be a thing. We'll see how it plays out. Zone coverage, zones definitely react better. Looks like linebackers, not so much from a user standpoint, but just linebackers dropping back in coverage and paying attention to their surroundings seems to be a good thing, so I like that. But if you're going to want a user, you're still going to probably need a defensive back or a middle linebacker with lurker, and we just don't know what abilities are going to look like and cost in Madden 24. But overall, I would say I'm very excited about this. Less than 2 weeks away here. Hopefully we get more gameplay news and, more importantly, more MUT news. As soon as it drops, I got you covered. Let me know what you think, how you feel about Madden 24 gameplay down below in the comment section. Thank you for watching. My name is Popular Stranger. I'm out. Peace.